Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today we will be featuring an Alchemy deck called Cabaretti Revels combo, called Goblin Trapfinder combo, called Ominous Traveler combo. I'm not sure, but it is a combo deck. So, let's talk about it. I just wanted to interject here a little bit, and I have a YouTube link for Alf MTG, who might do a better job at explaining, and you can watch that video, and the link is in below. Alright, now back to me badly explaining this deck. Bye. And what we are doing is, we are casting A-Acererak the Archlich over and over again to go through dungeons to potentially kill our opponent, or Ominous Traveler over and over again, because we can generate tons of mana. And with Ominous Traveler, we can cast whatever we find in the spell book, cast whatever we find, that creature we find, return Ominous Traveler to our hand, and recast it over and over again and kill our opponent that way. Now, how do we do that? Well, there are lots of ways. So, first we have Cabaretti Revels, which is whenever we cast a creature spell, we get to seek something that costs less. So if we cast A-Acererak, we can put a Racketeer Boss onto the battlefield and find it with our Cabaretti Revels. And depending on like how things go, we can Racketeer Boss to perpetually affect either another A-Acererak in our hand or an Ominous Traveler to when we cast it, it creates a treasure, right? And so every time we cast it, we are creating treasure, which isn't free. So how do we go infinite? Well, Birgi is another addition to that story, where whenever we cast something, we generate mana. Okay, good, but that's not always good enough. So what else is there? Oh, look, we have Goblin Trapfinder, which when it dies, and it can die via Village Rites, Deadly Dispute, or just blocking, you seek a creature with mana value 3 or less, which can be A-Acererak or Ominous Traveler. You don't get to choose, it is random. And that spell gains this cost 2 less to cast, and at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this creature. Well, if Goblin Trapfinder finds Ominous Traveler, oh, wow. It is now free to cast, and if you have something that generates mana, or if it goes to your hand and then you can Racketeer Boss to modify it, you can just loop it over and over and over again. So it's a very, very weird deck that really goes into the Alchemy Perpetual stuff, and it makes a lot more sense when you start playing it. But basically, you're not going necessarily infinite, but you wanna cast a lot of things in a single turn to hopefully not, if you can't kill your opponent, put yourself at an advantage to where your opponent can't win and you can kill them next turn. Maybe that makes sense, maybe it doesn't, but regardless, let's go play some games and see how it goes. Okay, I don't know if this is a particularly good hand, but Goblin Trapfinder is an important part to finding our combo, and we get to Village Rites it away. So maybe we have time. I want to Ziatora's Proving Ground, and then next turn we can Goblin Trapfinder and Village Rites and keep it up. Maybe our opponent is also on the same plan here. Yeah. So another thing we didn't mention is Prosperous Innkeeper and Dina are ways that the deck can find, or the deck can win with the combo going, because you're casting creatures, and with the Cabaretti Revels, you can find both Prosperous Innkeeper and Dina. So it is a way to win out of nowhere. So let's do this. Alright, we have that. We need... I think we might have one more turn. So we can Deadly Dispute this. And depending what the Goblin Trapfinder finds, we might be able to go off. So our opponent is gonna get a Trapfinder. We have to hope our opponent doesn't do anything. Here. Falconwrath Pit Fighter. I was like, we would like to get a Birgi. And I don't know if this is good enough, but I think I'm just gonna go for as much as I possibly can here. Let's see what we can get. Oh, I may have messed up. Because we want... Again, this deck is like, if you're not used to it, playing optimally can be very, very hard. But I think we want to Village Rites this away, so we can get a Racketeer. Oh, we got that. Okay. Interesting. So we get to Ominous Traveler. We can Cabaretti Revels here. Then we can do A-Acererak. If we find the treasure, a Racketeer, we can then perpetually modify our Ominous Traveler. Alright. That works. A little bit. Alright, GG. I think we did it. I think we did that there. Oh, wow. Okay, now what do we do here? Again, I'm not even sure how this deck works. I just know it's good. So... I think we want Curse of Shaken Faith. And do we like Culling Ritual? I don't know. I don't know what we do. Maybe I don't like Fable. Maybe we can go down to 3 Birgi. Sideboarding in these type of combo decks is really, really weird. And I don't know if we want to go into more interaction or just hope we're fine. So, Curse of the, what is it, Shaken Faith or whatever, is good because if your opponent casts a spell other than the first one, right, it deals damage. And so your opponent can't loop. So we can Cabaretti Revels and maybe set up. Oh. Interesting. So we can curse our opponent on the second turn, and then Cabaretti Revels. And I think that means we can save Culling Ritual when we have to get a lot of mana, which will destroy our Curse of Shaken Faith. But it's gonna give us a really big push to, I think, then go off in a single turn. I think that's my game plan, to generate a lot of mana in a single turn. One of the things I did learn while playing this deck on stream is that when in doubt, you want black lands over any other color if you can afford it, because sometimes you need to cast A-Acererak without using... You don't want to use your treasures, right? And so you only have black mana available, and if that was a mountain, you would have to use your treasure and not your land. Okay, so that can modify both of those. So this is pretty decent. We can also A-Acererak now into our Cabaretti Revels. And if A-Acererak can find with the Revels more Racketeer Boss, right? And then Racketeer Boss, if we find another one, can modify the Ominous Traveler so we can begin that loop. Now, do we think our opponent has something here? And GG. 85. Okay. This is good, I think. We get to Racketeer Boss with A-Acererak to modify, and then we Cabaretti Revels. Under City, let's discard a land. Our opponent can get another random card, because a lot of our stuff won't necessarily be good in our opponent's deck, I think. We have to be maybe a little worried about Invoke. Graveyard Trespasser, okay. Cabaretti Revels, and then no attacks. Hoping our opponent doesn't do Connoisseur or anything to make us discard that. Alright. Let's see what we get here. Another Racketeer. That feels bad because we... want... Oh, Birgi is great. Now we get the Innkeeper, which will get a Goblin, the 1/1 Goblin. I think Birgi's still on top of our library with how Seek works. Seek gets a random card, and MTGA doesn't show us the top card of our library because we don't know it was part of, because we like saw, we look through our deck, it kind of rearranges it, but I don't think it changes the position of it. Because if the top card was a Goblin Trapfinder, we shouldn't know what it is. It makes sense to me. But I'm just saying that. Like, we don't know if that came from the top of our library. So I think I want to actually Village Rites away a Racketeer Boss to draw more. Look, and we did draw the Birgi, so it probably did come from there. Interesting. So what I want to do here is, if we Cabaretti Revels, and this Birgi is gonna get two things. And if it gets a Racketeer Boss, yeah, it can modify both of these. So now this A-Acererak is gonna be really good. I think we can say go, and now hopefully our opponent doesn't have a lot going on here. Maybe I could have done that. Maybe I should have gone for this Birgi and tried. Could I have gone for this A-Acererak combo that turn? This is a little safer though. Okay. Molten Impact. Not wonderful for us, but if we get a Dina, that would be cool. Alright, there we go. So now we are going to start draining our opponent early. And now I think the A-Acererak is infinite because it costs 3 mana, it creates 2 treasure, and we get 1 from Birgi, so it can keep on bouncing itself. With the Innkeeper is going to be lethal, assuming our opponent doesn't have interaction. Alright, and our opponent did have interaction. But we might still just be able to win here. I don't know. Yeah. We're gonna be gaining a lot of life with Dina and everything. Now, against our opponent's deck, I think we want Mind Spike more than anything else. Maybe, God, we want Culling Ritual? I don't know, though. I have no idea how to sideboard, so let's hope it works out. Okay. So my thought here is mind. We don't care about their creatures. We care more about their discard spells. Yeah, okay. So I think with Shadow's Verdict, we're just going to have to try and go off in a single turn. Which, you know, is very doable. Oh, and a Soul Shatter? Okay. Oh no, that we did not want that. Uh-oh. So we're gonna Racketeer Boss, which will get us the Goblin. We get to modify that. But this is not it doesn't bring me a lot of joy. The spot we're currently in. Alright, Ominous Traveler. It doesn't really do much, actually. But it might do enough. Oh, our opponent is going for the Invoke. Huh. So we have to kind of win now. And I think it's possible. We're gonna have to get a little lucky. But we can perpetually modify these two. That can modify this. We need to get a lot of one casting cost things for our Ominous Traveler. And then we're gonna need to get the Dominating Vampire to steal things and give stuff haste. And we have a little room for things not going how we want. Because now we also have a ton of mana. Right, we need to get the cheap things, though. So it is possible to win from here, but we need to watch our time. And we need to get the one-ups more often, or the one-mana cards, which are Falkenrath and the Black Zombie, now, rather than later. champion. Where is... We need Dominating Vampire now. Nope. We could do this. This can help us loot for maybe a Cabaretti Revels. Oh, Birgi? Interesting. This makes us less likely to fizzle out. But again, we're worried about the time more than anything right now. We still haven't seen a Dominating Vampire yet. That has to be that has to be low. Also, I should be probably getting the 2-mana zombie to pump up the Parish. So... that's what I'm gonna do. Hope y'all are enjoying this. I am. Yeah, we need the first one. Where is it? A Dominating Vampire. We need multiple of it because we can steal and give and start giving stuff haste. I think our opponent now has quote-unquote timed out, so we don't have to worry about, we can just go as fast as we can. We don't have a lot of time, though. You only get a certain amount of time per turn on Arena, and we do only have one timeout. There we go. Now, if we get another Dominating, we can untap. We can gain control of, I think, Kiki Jiki again, and untap it and make another copy of Connoisseur. What a great game of Magic the Gathering. I'm doing this. This is what? Shadow's Verdict proof? So... we do have a big champion of the Perished. And it's getting there now. Our opponent's like, why do you still have priority? Why are you still taking turns? And I, quite frankly, don't know. But we still don't have our opponent dead yet, which is the problem with this deck. Is that it can go on for a while. In like a theoretical world, we could have not seen another vampire ever. I mean, we've done this loop what, how many times? And have only seen it once. So there we go. We're gonna give that haste. So we have one attacker that's gonna deal 12. And the thing is, like, our opponent can't have a thing that really gets them out of the situation right now for 1 red mana. But I'm still scared of it. So I want to, like, get as many lethal threats as I possibly can. You know, just in case, because I'm scared. But look at how many treasures. Also, everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful time watching this. Oh no. We have our buzzard going. And I really want to do another dominating, but I don't even know if I can now. Let's just go. I don't want to accidentally time out. That is 20. Oh my god. GG, everyone. That was exhausting. Well, thank you for watching whatever that was. This deck is fun. It's great, but it's very, very click intensive. It's a very weird and very out there, and probably will get nerfed sometime soon. But if you like this type of deck, I would recommend it. It feels like a really cool puzzle sometimes, and I like that. But again, you know what I mean? I hope you did enjoy watching it, and then you may have learned something. Every time I play the deck, I learn it a little more and more and more. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna link to another YouTuber, A-Acererak, who has a really, really great video on it that I would recommend watching if you want to know more and see this combo and maybe explained in a better way. Who knows? But with all that being said, if you haven't already, you should totally like, comment, or subscribe. You can watch me play live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. And I hope you're staying cool and safe. Bye.